He catch that fish yet? Their book.
Oh, yeah, he did.
It's a happy ending.
Not exactly. The old man met his greatest adversary just when he thought that part of his life was over.
Why didn't he just let the fish go?
Old man's got to be the old man, fish has got to be the fish. Got to be who you are in this world, right? No matter what.
Yo, Pop, bet you didn't have to push no dollies at your old job, did you?
Guilty as charged. Can you do a refund for me when you're done?
Open the register up right now. Move. Give me that ring.
No, it was my mother. Please.
It's okay, Jenny.
What's your new one about?
It is about a guy who's a knight in shining armor, except he lives in a world where knights don't exist anymore.
My ring.
Think you can be anything you want to be. Change your world. I promised I would never go back to being that person. But when somebody does something unspeakable to someone you hardly knew, you do something about it. Because you can. I'm here about a girl. 16 seconds. Seconds.
You didn't take out 5 pimps. You took out the East Coast hub of the Russian mafia.
A man with his skill. I want to know who he really is.
He won't stop until he kills you and anyone you care about.
This goes all the way to the top. Had enough? Because I can keep going. Brick by brick, body by body.
What do you see when you look at me?
What do you see when you look at me?
It's too late to start over. This is the only thing I know.
So I had never seen this movie prior to doing this show.
Okay.
And it was an absolute delight.
The Equalizer.
Yeah. See, it was a movie that was filmed in Boston.
It was.
I have stories.
Okay. I do too.
And
not happy ones.
Yeah, not pleasant. Not.
Damn you, David Harbour. I'm just gonna say it right off the bat.
Yeah.
Man is stealing more roles from me than anything.
Yeah. And so, well, at least maybe it's better or worse. We'll get into it. But I had never watched it because I also just assumed all the Boston movies are not that good.
Really?
I know I'm wrong.
Okay, the Boston action movies are usually pretty spectacular, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
The Town was great. I liked Black Mass, even though a lot didn't.
I didn't see Black Mass.
I liked it. Again, David Harbour, fuck you.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, we're getting right into it, but this is That Movie Show. We never do this well.
No.
This is That Movie Show. Mike Wendt, Liam Stryker, Bill Neville behind the board, and we are talking about 2014's The Equalizer, directed by Antoine Fuqua, starring Denzel Washington and Chloë Grace Moretz, David Harbour, Bill Pullman, Melissa Leo, cameoing, I guess, Steve Sweeney, local legend. It was released in September 26th, 2014, had a budget of $73 million and came back with $192.3 million at the box office and has a sequel opening up on the 20th of this Friday.
Yeah. It was, I was super excited to do this movie. The trailer for the new one looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So, you obviously got to see the first one.
Also, fun fact, the sequel, while it's set in D.C., was filmed in Boston.
The Sequelizer.
The Sequelizer. They turned a friend of mine... Damn it. There's a bat in the studio, by the way. A friend of mine, Chris Coombs, owns Boston Chops, great steakhouse in Boston.
That is a great steakhouse.
And they turned Boston Chops into DC Chops for the sequel.
Oh, very fun.
So it's in the sequel, The Equalizer 2.
You gotta hold it together.
I need a 38 in here to fucking pound that bat into oblivion. Anyway, but this one was set in Boston and filmed all over Boston.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Haverhill, Salem, Mass, I believe, was one of them. It's
everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's very Boston. There are a lot of aerial shots of the Zachem.
Oh, so many. So many aerial shots.
And the Tobin.
And Boston Sand and Gravel.
Which is the most fucking criminal enterprise in all of Boston, apparently.
Oh, it is.
According to movies.
According to movies, it is.
The mob runs it in this, the Irish mob.
Yes.
And Ben Affleck's character in the town worked there.
Yes.
Which is shady.
Whitey Bulger at least showed up there a couple of times.
At least.
There were so many pictures of it in The Departed.
You know what I love? They lean into it.
Yeah.
Because they're not... It's Boston Sand and Gravel in the movie.
Yeah.
They're not making them change the sign. They're not making them digitally change the name of the place. Like Home Depot.
Yeah.
Because Robert McCall, Denzel Washington's character in this movie, works at Home Mart.
Home Mart.
And it was filmed in, at least part of it. There was a couple scenes filmed in the Home Depot I worked in back in 2004.
That's so fun.
And right off the bat, one of the things I loved about... Oh, did you get it, Bill?
Yeah, Bill got it.
Did you get it? Killer!
Yeah.
Bill killed the bat!
Yeah. Oh, now we got to deal with Robin.
Much easier to deal with.
When I was working at Home Depot back in 2004, I spent a lot of time. A lot of my 8-hour shifts consisted of just walking the aisles, walking
of
up
course.
because I worked those hours when nobody really came around, and I worked the building materials, the same place that Robert McCall worked in the cutting the wood in the lumber area of it.
Yep.
And I mean, it was my store. Like watching this movie, I'm like, that shot is my store. It was filmed in the store I worked in. I knew exactly where he was. I knew exactly what was, all the surroundings. But one of the things was walking up and down those aisles for 8 hours. I just kept, and having the brain that I do, I just kept thinking, oh my God, this would make for an awesome horror or action movie.
Yeah.
Like setting. There could be so many cool murders here as the Equalizer show. All of a sudden, 2014 rolls around. I'm like, you guys you have something, you have a chip in my head, don't you? That you're just taking my ideas.
Yeah, that's exactly
without
what
payment.
happened. That's exactly.
I thought this shit up and you did it. Great minds think alike. That's how I look at it.
That is good. That is how you should look at it.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'll get right into it and I'll tell you my story about the Equalizer and maybe part of the reason why I didn't see it until today.
Okay.
I was cast in 3 separate roles in this movie, 2 of which they got rid of. One of which
before filming.
One was the white friend that works at home. The white guy that works at Home Mart.
There wasn't a white guy.
No, so there was a white guy that was his friend was like.
So were these speaking roles?
Yeah, these were speaking roles.
Okay.
These were all speaking roles. It was when, hey man, like, what did you used to do before you were...
The Gladys Knight and the Pips scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the white friend that was like, you were a pimp? No, I was a pimp.
So you were the guy who said you were a pimp?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then there was another scene that I
Or you would have been.
I would have been.
So you didn't get rid of your...
No, they replaced me with some producer's, like, son or nephew or something.
Okay.
So I got replaced there. The other...
Recast through nepotism.
Right. Then, so because of that, they had a different role for me.
Okay.
Because they were like, we felt bad. And so...
Odd in the movie industry.
Yeah. And so then they put me in that. That role got cut from the movie in a different draft.
What was the role?
It was another... like interaction. I think it was a customer.
Random white man.
Yeah. Like another customer
Sure.
at the Home Mart.
Okay.
And then I was supposed to be one of the Boston Sand and Gravel guys.
Okay.
But because they were filming, the filming went long. They
did go long. There were some reshoots in there.
They just didn't do the scene.
Oh, okay.
And so I was on set.
Did you at least get paid at all?
I got paid for the
sand and gravel one.
The sand and gravel one.
Okay.
So I was on set. I was sitting there
because those are moments I don't mind. Like I've done the same thing where you'll sit on set for 7 days. I don't mind getting cut from that because I'm collecting a fucking paycheck.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is again, I also don't count extra work as being in the movie, right? And so
some of us do.
Sorry.
Some of us do. Jesus.
Yeah, sorry.
Background artist over here.
Yeah. You and all of Boston. So we
Damn dick.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to get me started.
I kind of do actually.
But I got paid, and I got paid well because they still gave me the principal role.
Sure.
Like, I don't collect any of the
You don't get residuals,
because I didn't appear in the film, but they gave me the day rate. So
there you go.
There you go.
And you never saw the movie because of that?
I don't think
You held that much bitter feelings towards it?
No, I think maybe subconsciously, but it was never like an active, like, I'm not seeing this movie because, man.
You just didn't see it because you didn't have Movie Pass at the time.
I didn't have Movie Pass at the time.
You're not going to have Movie Pass pretty soon, apparently.
I'm getting...
Get the AMC one.
Get the AMC one.
I'm getting AMC, baby.
Or hopefully our Showcase sponsorship will come through. Showcase, please.
True.
Reply to my fucking emails.
Yes. Showcase.
Yes, please. We can do more than just podcast. But I did see it in theater, and I saw it in a showcase, one of the showcases that has the drinking section.
Yep.
And this was the second time I had been to one of these movies. The first one was Ted. I made the dumbass mistake of going to Boston movies in drinking theaters.
Or Boston.
There is that. So, of course, there's always that guy.
Yeah.
We hear, dude, fucking Boston sand and gravel guy. Look at it. Oh, I know exactly where that corner is in Chelsea. No, guy, we all live here. We all know what that corner is.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck. Oh, God, he's going to keep going.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it was The Equalizer, the Ted one, they were just drunk and they were ordering. They had the flight attendant button in the seats, so the waiter was coming through. In this one, it was a drinking theater where you had the flight attendant button. You could order drinks from the bar. This guy brought like I did tonight, basically a bag of beers,
a duffel bag of beer,
and was just cracking beers throughout the movie. And I was just like, I don't want to. It sounds like a dick move, but dude, we're adults.
Yeah.
And he was an adult. He was in his 30s.
Right. You're an adult. You shouldn't be sneaking.
You're not 15 sneaking fucking beers into a movie.
Yeah. You're a loser.
Yeah.
You're a loser.
Like, sit home.
Yeah.
If not paying for beer at a movie theater that sells beer is that important to you, the $25 ticket price is probably a pain in the ass too.
Yeah, right.
Wait for on demand or bootleg the fucking thing.
Yeah, right.
Like you probably would.
Yeah, no, you're a dickhead. That guy's a dickhead.
God, this can is spitting out all over me. I just got it in the fucking eye.
Between bats and
fucking
cans.
Money shot at me in the eye. Oh.
Between bats and cans, you're just not doing
I'm not having a good night.
You're not having a good night.
Second part of my day is not going well.
Yeah, no.
Internet's not working, Bill!
Our pets' heads are falling off!
Thank you.
Pets' heads are falling.
All right, so let's get into the movie.
Yeah.
That's what people are tuning in for, not hearing about me getting shot in the eye with a fucking beer can. Let's talk about the fucking movie. Let's see. Robert McCall, Denzel Washington's character, retired. They don't really explain his backstory. Okay, and they don't really explain his backstory.
Yeah, see,
it's very shady.
So I watched two movies back to back.
Yes, one was very clear what they did.
Yeah, one was very clear what they did in Mission Impossible,
which we cover next week.
Which we'll cover next week.
Yes, the 1986 Mission Impossible.
Yes, right, not one of the
original
first one, the first movie.
Yes, the first movie.
So I thought to myself, you know what would be fun? What if they were both in IM?
Am I?
No. What is it? It's like IMF.
I don't know.
It's this dumb, weird acronym. We'll talk
CIA?
about it. No, but they're a part of like the Mission Impossible team.
Wikipedia says he's a retired CIA Black Ops, but they never said that in the movie.
No, so I assume that
Wikipedia is just assuming things.
Yeah, well, they never officially say it, but when he shows up at that senator's house or whatever.
Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
Who I forgot, him and Melissa Leo, I completely forgot they were in the movie last night.
Basically, I'm pretty sure that he was a Black Ops, like CIA agent.
Well, the funny thing is, Denzel Washington, when he
trained Ethan Hunt.
Oh, is that where you're going?
That's where I'm going.
Oh, okay.
That's what this.
So the
movie is.
reason Tom Cruise jumps off buildings now is because of Denzel Washington.
Yes, which is just a better cinematic universe.
I love it.
So we also get Jason Bourne involved.
Sure. And
James Bond.
I mean, The Equalizer is now becoming a franchise.
Right. So we have like Super Spy-a-Palooza.
I like it.
It's a cinematic universe that I've
like
created in my own head, and better than the dark universe that Universal tried to do.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
They got one movie.
Yeah, and it didn't have Brendan Fraser in it. That was their mistake.
That was their mistake. That was their biggest mistake.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to see a Mummy movie anymore unless it has Brendan Fraser and The Rock as a badge CGI.
Yeah,
tarantula.
half the Rock.
Tarantula.
Half the Rock. It's a scorpion.
Scorpion. Yeah, that's right. Because it's called the fucking Scorpion
He's the
King.
Scorpion King.
Come on, Mike. Get your shit together.
Look, you were close. It's an arachnid.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, two things that happened when Denzel Washington signed on. He read the script, and the first thing he did was basically cut 90% of his dialogue.
Yeah.
He said, I don't need to say this much. This character I can do through facial expressions, through acting.
Yeah.
I don't need all this dialogue. The second thing he did was actually create the character's backstory, because the character had even less backstory in the original script.
Right.
It was just he was a
just a guy,
an emotionless, faceless, nameless
guy.
killer.
Yeah, right.
Killer who liked tea and novels.
Yeah, right. And there's only a little bit of backstory now. You know, that stuff with his wife or his dead wife or his ex-wife or whatever.
The OCD was one thing that Denzel added.
Yeah.
If you noticed in the diner where he put the spoon and the book and the thing, and all of a sudden, and when Steve Sweeney comes over to fill the pot, he drops it in, puts a spoon in, doesn't stir right away. All the little OCD shit was a Denzel-ism.
Oh, see, I just thought it was just being very meticulous.
Which probably that was probably where it came from. He's probably like, okay, I know who this character is, and this character would do this, but it wasn't there.
Right, right.
That was him crafting. That was the art of acting.
Yeah.
With Denzel Washington.
Yeah, yeah.
Learn, kids.
Learn subtlety.
So do we open the diner? Is that where we open?
I don't.
Or do we open at the Home Mart?
I think we open at Home Mart.
I wish this was a watch along because it'd be a little easier.
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, let's just pick apart. He's basically eating lunch with his friend, the guy that's trying to be the security guard, Ralph. You know, and he's basically, it establishes that this character is just trying to be like a nice guy.
He's just trying to be a good human.
Yeah, he's just trying to be a good dude.
Yeah,
and he's helping this overweight kid that works at the Home Mart.
Again, very OCD about his dieting, but he's trying. But he's doing
well, his friends,
he's doing the DDP thing where he's very OCD about everything. He's like,
right.
You're gonna do what I'm gonna say you're gonna do, and you're gonna be a better person because of it.
Right. Well, because
but you're gonna hate me for most of this.
Right. Well, because the kid's trying to be the security guard.
Right.
And so he's got to...
As someone who's done loss prevention and security in retail stores, it's not that hard of a job to fucking get. Sorry.
No.
There isn't tests.
No, but he tried...
The uniform was ridiculous once he actually got the job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was so over the top.
Yeah, of course. It was
first of all, retail security wears plain clothes.
Yeah,
because we're supposed to... I say we because I did it. We're supposed to blend in as customers.
Yeah.
We're catching shoplifters. We're not stopping Russian terrorists.
Yeah.
Russian mob from blowing the place up. We don't actually have any authority or power. Badges are silly.
Right. And so through the course of that, we find...
stinking badges?
Yeah, right. So we find out through the course of that, he's trying to help this kid. He's a good guy. He hangs out at a diner at night, and there is a underage prostitute.
Yeah, another fun fact about that in the writing process, she was originally written as much, much older, but Chloë Grace Moretz impressed Antoine Fuqua so much that he immediately rewrote the character as underage.
Yeah. Which is creepy, and also creepy in the fact that they never actually say that she's underage. They imply it because I
want to say she's at some point. There's a mention of 17.
No, the closest that we ever get is Denzel goes, "How old are you?" And she's like, "It doesn't matter."
Okay, there you go.
And so
maybe my brain just said 17.
Yeah, that's kind of where we got,
because it feels like she's playing that range.
Yeah, right. And so,
by the way, Chloë Grace Moretz, adorable.
She's so
I
good.
can watch her all the time. I am so not a fan of shot-for-shot remakes, but I can watch her in Carrie.
She is
Beautiful girl, wonderful actress.
Right.
And of course, everybody knows she jumped out on the screen in Kick-Ass.
Right.
And never looked back. I loved her from the moment she showed up on Kick-Ass.
Right.
Dropping C-bombs all over the place.
Right. Well, and this kind of just shows you.
And it had nothing to do with the word cunt. It was just like, she's a great actress.
Well, this is what you see about how good of an actress she actually is, because she's in an action movie in Kick-Ass, and then she doesn't play an action hero in this movie.
She is the heart and soul of this action movie.
Right. And so
she's the driving force behind why he
gets out of retirement.
I guess, for lack of a better term.
Gets out of retirement. And basically that's what ends up happening. He ends up seeing that she doesn't want... They have this weird connection where he...
Well, he's clearly a do-gooder. We established that with Ralph, and she's again. It's one of those. He does good deeds out of situation and convenience.
Right.
So like he's helping Ralph because they work together. It's not like he's seeking out people.
No,
it's not like he's Robin Hood.
No, he's not.
He's not going out trying. He's not despite the fact that even in a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and even the fact that it was pitched to Denzel. Denzel didn't want to do this when he first was pitched it, but they said to him, well, what got him to sign on with this was the producer said to him, what if superheroes were real?
Right.
That was all he said, and Denzel smiled and goes, okay, let me read the script.
Yeah, right. Because
that was what it took. So he's a real life superhero in a way, but he's not seeking out justice.
No, because the connection
or injustice.
The connection that he has with Chloë Grace Moretz in this is they're just these two lonely people that just
lonely lives.
They live very lonely lives, and they're just looking for a little interaction. And so they interact at this diner, and Denzel Washington basically sees that she doesn't want to do this anymore, and she wants to be a singer, and they've talked for so long, and he's like, get out and do what you got to do,
right.
and get out. And so finally
they're chatting about the books he's reading,
right? And so she seems far more intelligent than you would her profession would make you believe,
right? And
things go sour, right?
She's in with a bad crowd,
right?
Her pimps are a Russian mob.
Right. And so
they're beating the shit out of her and sending her to clients that are beating the shit out of her.
Right. And so basically he witnesses this firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
She ignores a phone call while they're talking after, basically finding that she's, being abused by these pimps.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So she gets whisked away. And she tells him don't worry about it, it's okay. Then finds out that she's in intensive care and basically kind of snaps a little bit.
Yep.
And so he goes in and he tries to be like a good dude.
Civil.
And he's like, here's a ton of money.
$9,800, which the specificness of the $9,800 makes me feel like this is what he's been, like this is his savings.
Right.
Like he's gone to his he's working at Home Depot or Home Mart, and this is what he's accumulated working at this straight job.
Yeah, this is all I have.
This is what he can offer because he ends up giving it to her.
Right. Right.
And so, but he offers up to this room of tattooed, gun-toting, switchblade-toting, Russian gangsters. Here's $9,800, which they blow their nose with.
Right, because
I want her freedom.
Yeah, he's like, I want her out. And basically the guy is like, you get her for a month. Yeah. And you get her, and he's just a dick about it.
As any good pimp would do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a value to each woman.
Yeah, right.
And she's got miles on her.
Right.
She's got a few miles to go.
Yeah, right. And so on the way out, he's just a dickhead. And
they're shit talking him all the way out, and all of them are.
All of them,
and they're so strategically placed. It's like the head of the guy is behind the desk. His right hand is literally on his right side. Then as you walk further, it's like, okay, there's the dude with the knife.
There's the other.
There's
guy
the
with
dude
the
on
gun.
the other side with the gun, and then. But this is one of the cooler action sequences, and not even when it plays out. But the preparation in that 30 seconds before it happens.
Yeah, as he scans.
It's almost like Terminator vision.
I was gonna say, did you watch the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes.
I own him. I haven't watched him.
So at the beginning of that, he does a thing where he monologues what he's got to do to the guy.
Okay.
And so he's like, all right, I need to punch him into the rib to bring his guard down on his right side. Ear clap to get him disoriented because he can't hear. Then I do this. Then I do that. Then I do this. And this was the visual representation of that, where it's like you can see his thought process before he actually executes it. Which was really cool. Then we get the fight scene.
Especially seeing it for the first time. Like watching it in the theater, it's like, because you don't know that's coming.
Right.
You don't know where, like, you really don't, especially if you go in blind.
Right. Well,
I didn't see a lot of teasers or TV spots or anything like that. So I didn't really know where this movie was going. I knew it was an action movie, but I didn't know where it was going. So he's doing this, and I'm like, where is this? And all of a sudden, he says something, what is it, 28 seconds? He's like, 28 seconds.
29 seconds.
Hits his watch. And just goes fucking Matrix on their ass.
Yeah, and he murders all of them, and then
in such cool fashion too.
It's awesome. It's a great fight sequence.
He utilizes the hell out of that the corkscrew.
Yeah, because he uses them as
he takes an eye out.
Yeah, basically brass knuckles,
and then under the chin, open mouth. You see the corkscrew through the mouth.
Right.
Oh, beautiful action sequence.
And so there's that, and then he sits down with the head of the pimps or whatever, and he's like, "Just so you know, you died for $9,800.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna bleed out in like 30 seconds."
I love how he's so precise.
Yeah.
The precision in his, not only what he does, like, because he has a stopwatch, but his dialogue when he's like, "You're going to bleed out in 30 seconds," and in 30 seconds, the guy's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, "You're going to bleed out. Your heart's beating so fast."
I am so not good at math, so I am so envious at him.
Yeah, right. And he's just like, "This girl's going to live. She's going to go on and live. And
she's going to live a full life.
And you're dead.
You're dead.
And you're dead. Yeah. Goodbye." And then he leaves.
Goodbye.
Yeah, and so that sparks the Russian mob, who's like, all global reaching and everything, that he's like, well, now we got to send our version of him.
The head baddie is Vladimir Pushkin. We find him later. Is it is it Russia? Is it Ukraine? Is it?
It's somewhere in Eastern Europe.
Prague?
Yeah.
Somewhere
in Eastern Europe. And so he sends his top go-get-him guy to go find this guy.
Such a badass dude.
He is. He is such a badass. And so it was fun watching that. This, like, we are both very evenly matched.
Yeah.
We're very evenly matched in the way that we do things.
What was that guy's name? Nikolai? I think?
Yeah, yes.
Something like that?
Something like that.
But he has a really cool, like, nickname-y type of thing.
Yeah.
I'll find it in a second.
So it was really cool watching that. He was Teddy. That was his.
Okay, that's I'm looking up and down the IMDb for Nikolai.
Yeah, no.
But Teddy, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so it was just
played by Marton Csokas?
I think the C's silent.
I wish the C's were silent. Csokas, I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
Badass dude.
Badass dude. He was the main villain in Triple X.
Yes.
Triple X, way back when.
Oh, love me some Triple X.
But yeah, so he's sent in to try and find this, and he thinks that it's one of the other mobs trying to make a play.
As you would, though.
And yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. As you do.
And so he goes to Boston Sand and Gravel to talk to the
Irish mob.
Because he's like, I got to find out and make sure you're doing it.
Because Boston Sand and Gravel is the shadiest business in all of Boston.
Yeah, it is. It's clearly.
Apparently, according to movies.
So then, basically, they end up, they walk in, and Hopper just warns him, don't call him.
David Harbour, you son of a bitch. I was at Legal Seafood last week. Waitress comes over to me. Not my waitress that's waiting on me.
A different one?
Different waitress comes over, goes, I don't know if anybody's told you, but you really look like the guy from Stranger Things. And I go, I don't see it, but you're like the 47th person to tell me that.
That's so funny.
I don't see it.
That's funny.
But every time David Harbour does anything, I get at least a dozen texts or Facebook or whatever. Dude, Looks like he stole. That's why I make the joke. He stole another role from me.
Right.
And he's doing fucking Boston movies.
Yeah, right.
Equalizer, Black Mass.
You should get yourself a nice beige cop shirt or something.
I just want to do
a cop shirt.
Be a stunt double.
Yeah, be a stand-in.
I'll be a stand-in, please.
Only in the drinking scenes.
Him and Kevin Nash. I could do stand-in work for both those motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, one I'm told I look like, the other one I'm tall.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And graying.
Yeah, it works. So basically, he doesn't.
I've reached out to both. Neither one has responded.
Yeah, of course.
I'm still waiting.
Denzel Washington doesn't. He thinks it's over. He thinks it's over. He doesn't think that anything else is going on with this Russian mob.
But he shows up at his house.
Well, that is later. That's after he.
Is this after we get the Wahlberg brother?
Yeah, the Wahlberg brother.
Bobby Wahlberg's in this one. Yeah,
and so he's a corrupt cop, and because all of a sudden we find out,
I love Bobby in this. He is fantastic.
Yeah, we find out that his little buddy at the that's going to security guard, he up and quit with no notice.
Yep.
And the reason he up and quit is because his mom's
taqueria or whatever they were serving got burnt up.
Yeah, and he's got to help out now, and the reason is because they're being extorted by the cops of all people, and so Denzel Washington has to step in and do something about it.
He's got to,
and so
he does it in the coolest fashion ever.
He definitely does. He breaks an arm.
He's just chilling by the dumpster after they take the money and enjoy their tacos or whatever's. And he starts. What is he? He puts a flashlight in their face.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden just starts berating them for taking money and shows them a video because he had videotaped them extorting another business.
Right.
And I remember the line. Okay. So he flashes the light.
Yep.
They tell him put it out. He puts it out. He goes, officers, I need to report a crime. Call 911 in the best Wahlbergy Boston accent.
Right.
Call 911. I ain't got time for that, dude, or whatever he says.
Right.
They get in their car, and he calls their cell phone.
Yeah.
Why would I waste city dollars when I have two corrupt cops sitting right in front of me?
Right.
Enter badass mode.
Yeah, right.
It's like he hit the up, down cheat code, and he is going badass on him.
Right, and it was great. So they try to stick it to him, and he immediately turns the tables.
No, he sticks it right in him.
Yeah, and so he beats the hell out of them, and they end up giving the money back. And
another great line. Robert Wahlberg coming out of the restaurant after giving back the extortion money.
Yeah,
he goes, that fucking hurt more than breaking my arm.
Yeah, right. That because they got to give back all the money.
They got to give back all their extortion money, or he's going to put the video of them extorting people on the news.
Right.
Newscaster, played by Jenny Johnson, by the way.
Oh yeah. And so that's when we find out that the Russian mob has figured out that this guy walked into the restaurant and never came out, and so that's how he shows up at his door. Because he follows the guy through I
remember there was like street cam footage.
There is street cam footage. So
I couldn't remember if it was going in or coming out.
The funny part about it is, and the most unbelievable part of this movie is how reliable the MBTA is. Because Robert McCall doesn't have a car and only uses public transportation.
Yep.
And the buses, no less.
I don't know what train he's riding though, because I spent 2 years on public transpo and I'm looking at that train. I'm like, I don't fucking recognize it. That might be one of the New Hampshire shoots.
Oh, the train that he was on was the Green Line.
Was it?
That was one of the newer Green Line trains.
Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't look familiar, but okay, I'll take a word on that one.
So anyway, so basically, Teddy shows up at his house.
Teddy.
And they have an epic, I know you're lying. I know you're lying.
It's such a pissing contest. It's wonderful.
Right. And it's like, I know you're lying. I know you're lying.
It's like, who can be the bigger passive-aggressive badass?
Yeah, right. And so they passively aggress all over
each other.
All over each other. And that's when we even up the ante even more. Because
How'd you find me? How'd you find me?
How'd you find me?
How'd you find me?
Yeah, what'd you do?
How'd you give me a car? Officer? Is that what you do? Office? How'd you find me?
How'd you find me? And
fucking Denzel is fantastic. Oh my God, I love this man.
Yeah, he was great. And so that's where he finds David Harbour.
Yeah.
And he's basically
he does.
he basically is going to make him commit suicide.
Yeah. Because he's another corrupt cop that's helping Teddy.
Right.
Have we got to the part where he cuts the lights in the diner?
No, so
Okay.
I think that happens first.
Because that happens before.
That happens first because he gets that, and then he goes to see the president from Independence Day.
Bill Pullman.
He finds Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman with his wife Melissa Leo, who I completely forgot was in this movie. That was if I had to pick a point, okay, in this over 2-hour movie. It's, I believe, 2:15, 2:20-ish.
Yeah, something like that. 2:22.
That was the part I would cut.
Yeah.
Because it was like, that's the point where I'm just like, exposition.
Oh, yeah, this was all exposition.
I don't give a shit at this point.
The bomb that gets dropped when they go see Bill Pullman and his wife is, and I know that the wife's more important than Bill Pullman, but...
It's Melissa Leo from the Fighter Dude.
Melissa Leo. The only reason... she's more important, and the only reason... Like, there's a bomb. The bomb is dropped that she goes... They're like...
Dialogue bomb, folks.
Yeah,
not a literal bomb.
Not a literal bomb. But, yeah, this man has been presumed dead.
Oh, again, Bill Pullman. Great line where he just casually, they're sitting across the table. So, by the way, you had a great funeral.
Yeah, your funeral was really nice.
Fantastic funeral.
It's like,
people
what?
mourned.
What? Wait, so everybody thinks this guy's dead, and then she goes...
It explains a lot, especially about the way he lives.
Right.
Because if you look, again, going back to his OCD stuff, he only has in his apartment one fork, one spoon, one plate, one cup.
Yeah, right.
And he washes and dries, and that's
it.
He doesn't have like a set of plates.
Yeah, he doesn't have
a fucking plate.
Yeah, he's only got one thing. And so you find out that there was some sort of bomb that they thought killed him, and they were like, if anybody was going to find a way how to not die, it would have been you. And
so did they presume him dead, or did he fake his death? Because I always thought he faked his death.
They presumed him dead off of some sort of car bomb.
Huh.
That's because that's what they say.
I figured he faked his death in order to retire because of his promise to his wife that he would get out of the life.
Right. Yeah, who knows? And so then, basically she tries to get permission because he tries to find out who this guy is because they try to ambush him at the diner. And he beats...
Another great scene.
Yeah, because are we waiting for more people?
The casual but still pissy fuck offness of his dialogue. Waiting for more?
No.
What? Well, if you worked the
power lines,
if you worked the power lines, your hands wouldn't be so soft and clean, or whatever the fuck he says.
Your hands wouldn't look like that.
And the dude just pulls out an M16 or not an M16. No, it was a Uzi. Not an Uzi. Mac 10. Mac 10.
Right. 10. So, yeah, and so then he just cuts the power and just makes it out of there alive. And then he goes to see Bill Pullman.
He does another great
great
scene.
He breaks a dude's neck with a book.
He breaks his neck because he can't shoot off the gun because he knows that Harbour and Teddy are sitting outside.
Right.
So he can't make noise, and the Boston Herald truck pulls up in front of him.
Right.
So he's blinded for a second. Okay, bust his neck with the book,
and
then stick the fork in the light socket, which obviously kills the power to the whole neighborhood,
right?
As you do.
Steve
Sweeney thankfully took off for get a piece of pie or something.
Yeah, got the hell out of there.
Gets himself some coffee and pie, pal.
Yeah,
and then he comes out and he's snapping fucking photos of Harbour, so he's got that on him.
Right, and so now when he goes to see Bill Pullman, he's got somebody, and we find out the backstory on Teddy and who Teddy is. And that's basically where he's like, I'm gonna go murder all these people.
Torturing Harbour was wonderful, not only for me because I need some acting roles, but but it was such a cool way to get information where he forces him into his car, and as a popular way to commit suicide, put the hose into the car, and he's got the window on a remote,
right?
So he's basically suffocating him with the exhaust,
right?
And opening the window every few seconds and be like, "You gonna tell me a name? Fuck you, okay?"
Yeah,
and there it goes. Close it back up.
He's forcing him to commit suicide.
I'm a fucking cop. Okay, you go be a cop.
The only thing that I don't understand about that is how come you didn't try to open the door? At no point does he try to open the door.
I feel he gimmicked the whole car because I mean, how is he opening and closing with a push of a button?
Yeah.
He gimmicked his whole car.
Oh, he had to have.
There's no way he could have opened that door. locked it from the outside, for lack of a better term.
Right. Oh, yeah, I would imagine.
There's no way for him to unlock it.
So then they go and they just take over this money laundering factory.
Yep.
And he gives everybody what I assume is $10,000 on the way out the door.
Stack of cash to all the immigrant workers.
All the immigrant workers go, here you go, here you go. They're just in a line. He's just handing it to them.
3, 2, 1, there you go.
And then he's basically like,
call it in.
You're going to call it in and you're going to be here. You're going to be
Handcuffs him to a pipe.
Yeah. This is it, man. You're done.
This is your deal.
Yeah. This is the end of the road for you. And he's freaking out because he's pretty sure everybody's going to kill him. And he's like, no.
Everybody is. I mean, he doesn't show up again in the movie, so I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Oh, probably. He's probably most definitely dead.
Yeah.
And so then that's where everything kind of gets brought up a notch because Pushkin, who I'm assuming is just supposed to be Putin, is Vladimir Pushkin.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Yeah. And so he's basically like, you got to find this guy or I'm going to kill you.
Actor's first name, actual Vladimir.
Vladimir
Kulich.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going with Kulich.
Yeah, I don't speak Russian.
Vladimir.
Playing
Vladimir.
Vlad. And so...
Very cool shower he has.
It is a very cool shower.
Pretty badass
We'll get there.
shower.
We'll get there in a second.
Oh, we're not there yet? Okay.
No, because that's the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, we got the high sign.
Yeah, I know.
We got the high spot to get the fuck out.
Yeah, so Teddy...
We got to go home.
Teddy basically is like, I'm going to kill everybody. He's gotten to the point where he brings in his own special forces team. And he's like, I'm going to murder everybody at the
Home Depot.
Mart. Yeah, I'm going to murder everybody at the Home Depot that you like unless you show up and I can murder you.
You are a lonely individual. I am just going to murder a bunch of minimum wage motherfuckers to get your attention.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
The bootleg rapper, your fat friend, the security guard, Jenny, who we had to have a backstory with the ring and her mom and the whole shoplifter thing, who he murdered with a hammer, by the way.
It's really unfortunate we didn't get to see him murder that dude with that hammer.
Not even a deleted scene on the Blu-ray.
That's unfortunate.
Oh my! I so want to see him cave that dude's head in with a hammer because he's wiping blood off as he puts it back.
Yeah, that's got to be like a situation where it's like knock on the door, dude opens it, and he just cracks him with the hammer because that is premeditated.
Come on, you know this guy is so more cerebral than that.
Oh, yeah, but he's also just dead.
It's like a less jokey Deadpool in the pizza guy scene in the first Deadpool.
Yeah.
Where he comes out, he just kind of comes around the corner, not shitting in the kitty litter. He's just there with a hammer.
Yeah.
And the bedazzled pants guy gets bludgeoned.
Yes, of course. Of course. But so the Russian special forces are in the Home Depot.
A Home Depot.
Yeah. And thus begins
my brain.
The Home Alone portion of the movie.
I swear to God, like this closing scene in the fucking Home Depot. I spent 6 months walking the aisles, visualizing this scene in 2004.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
10 years before.
Sorry.
These motherfuckers stole my brain.
And they just made the movie. They listen to you while you sleep.
I'm gonna sue somebody.
You might win.
I'm gonna think about suing somebody.
If you had something written down, you could make millions.
It's all up here, man.
It's too bad you got to write it down.
I write it in my brain, man.
Yeah, you got to write it down.
All right,
you write it down. So he basically hangs somebody with barbed wire.
There's that.
He stabs somebody with what I'm assuming is some sort of like tree pruning device.
Sure.
Which is great.
There's a whole bunch of broken glass.
But he cuts the power. And my favorite thing has to be when he tells his security guard friend, go switch the breaker. And there's a guy that's going in there and he basically turns it on and there's just propane tanks.
Blows the fuck out of everything.
Oh, because there's just propane tanks in the microwave. Just like, holy crap.
How big is a microwave?
I know. It doesn't make sense.
But it does provide us with an extremely dramatic, slow walk through sprinkling rain.
Well, that's the thing. They wanted rain, couldn't have rain, so they used the sprinklers.
It looks the balls. It looks awesome.
Denzel Washington slowly approaching Teddy as he just fills him with nails.
In the most unrealistic nail gun scene ever, if anybody's ever used a nail gun.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I'm gonna peel back. I'm gonna nitpick this a little bit because it's a great movie. But as someone who has used nail guns in professional life before, they have a safety right at the end of the barrel. So you have to actually push it down on a surface to make the nail come out. Now, granted, you can hold that thing back and fire nails like a gun.
Right, but you can't use it like a shotgun.
He was doing Linda Hamilton from Terminator 2.
Right.
One-handed, pumping with one hand. First of all, nail guns don't pump action. I've never... maybe they do. Tweet me at Mike Wendt, MikeWendt. Let me know if you know a pump action fucking nail gun. Because that needs to be a thing in the world.
A shotgun nail gun?
But he's literally pump actioning like Linda Hamilton in T2.
Yeah.
And firing nails with one hand.
Yeah.
Into this dude who is, mind you, the baddest motherfucker on the planet, and he's getting taken down by nails. Like that was, I was sitting there like, I'm sorry, if I was Nikolai Teddy over here, I would not be taken down by nails.
Well, you would have been able to at least fire your machine gun at him,
which you were holding.
Yeah, right. Like before you got so hurt,
because he completely played Robert Patrick from fucking T2, where he but Linda Hamilton was firing a 12 gauge.
Yeah, right. It was a freaking.
You're getting nails, 6-inch nails shot into your body. Okay, hurts like a son of a bitch, but
you should be.
You're a badass.
You should also still be able to fire.
You've been established as the baddest motherfucker in the world.
And then he's just sitting there in a pool of blood, and he just shoots him right through the throat.
Yeah, the only effective nail gun shot should have been that last one.
Right.
The rest really should have rendered no effect on him.
Should have been sucky,
but I get it.
Yeah,
drama.
Right.
It looked cool. It did. It was a cool action scene.
And so now that
he turns and walks away.
Yeah,
in the rain.
In the rainish. In the sprinkler. And then he goes and kills Vladimir Pushkin in Russia.
In Russia. In the shower.
In the weirdest situation ever. He's just turning the lights on and off.
I thought that was cool as hell.
It was visually very cool. But
he's holding a gun.
Right, because he stole Pushkin's gun.
Well, you say that. But he also killed, he clearly shot the bodyguards, because when he's leaving, he walks past the dead bodies of all the bodyguards and there's blood splatters on the wall.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So he clearly shot those guys. I mean, they could have taken their guns.
Yeah, right.
But he's sitting there doing a dramatic light on, light off, light on, light off, clearly holding a gun. And I get it. It's a cool scene.
Yeah.
But it would have been a hell of a lot easier to shoot the motherfucker in the eye.
Well, that was the
weird... hope.
Yeah.
Hope that he turns the switch that starts the fucking electricity that spills into the water. He's holding the metal gun, the whole
The whole thing about
There's way too much science involved in that murder.
Right, especially when you murdered everybody else in the room. Like, everybody else in the
rest of the house was murdered with a gunshot to the head.
Yeah, everybody else is murdered. Why did you need to electrocute that guy?
Drama.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm the goddamn equalizer. Roll credits.
Yeah, roll credits. And then we did roll credits after...
We really did.
He talks to Chloë Grace Moretz one more time, and she's like, you're my dad that I never had.
Well, she reveals that she got an unmarked envelope with $9,800 callback.
And a ticket.
And a plane ticket out of town. She was going to go be a singer.
Yeah, great. And then everybody high fives and we ride off into the sunset to Equalizer 2.
And it closes with him sitting at the diner.
Yeah,
answering Craigslist ads.
Right. That's right. That's what
I need
doing.
help.
Random
I need help ads on Craigslist.
Right. He's going to go be the A-team, but by himself.
Yeah. And that is. The final scene, as cheesebally as it is the culmination of what this character is, and like I said earlier, why Denzel signed on. He is a real life superhero.
Yeah, right. And
so this is going to be his franchise for being a superhero.
Right.
You're not going to see Denzel. Well, you might. But you're not going to see Denzel show up in Marvel or DC.
Yeah.
This is his superhero franchise.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Equalizer.
This movie is really good. I'm excited to see the second one far more than I thought I was going to be.
I really want to see it, yeah.
Now that I've seen Equalizer 1, I really want to see it.
Now you've gone over your bitterness
I've gotten
of
over
being cut, even though you got paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even get cast, motherfucker.
Yeah, well...
David Harbour took my roles.
Yeah, well, you know what? I still wasn't in The Sandlot, so...
I wasn't in Stranger Things!
Yeah, it's true. That sucks.
Fuck you, David Harbour. I should be Hellboy. I'd be a great Hellboy.
Is he going to be a new Hellboy?
He's Hellboy.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, follow him on Instagram. I do.
Yeah, I don't.
I keep up on my non-accomplishments.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, of course. Of course. All right, and that's the Equalizer.
That is the Equalizer. Next week, we are doing Mission Impossible, 1996, the original film that started all. I cannot wait because I have so many opinions on the original, and I haven't seen any of the other ones to completion.
Really?
Really.
Oh, I love the second one.
I know you do.
I love John Woo.
I love John Woo. I just couldn't get through it. It was Tom Cruise's haircut, but we'll get to that next week.
Yes.
Next week on That Movie Show. Make sure you follow.
Or if you're watching this live, 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes. Make sure you follow all of us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Jason likes to say Glork Normal, sure, even though I gave him that fucking thing back in the after the Belliot days. But at Mike Wendt, at Liam NAI, at Bill Neville NAI, hashtag That Movie Show, New Age Pop on Twitter, and follow, subscribe, whatever you have to do on your favorite podcast app to New Age Insiders Pop, where you will get That Movie Show every single Monday. See you next week, folks.
Bye, everybody.
I gave him Glork.
You did.